Atlas.
Here's another one. One time with the mind now. Let's go.
Could be something true now. I'm not looking anymore. The times we're breaking, never through now. Sharing real connections, what we'll make. Come on, let go, baby, more. Don't you know you let it on a jump with it? Try to put the boat double clicking on the go, but I know use. Hey, I'm gonna go in.
And a win with a flow, double trouble on a go poses. Keep posing, opposing against these foes. Please know I'm the roses that grew out on the concrete jungles.
Not a day goes by without me thinking about that way the world stepped with motion. When you walked into my life and we connected like we shared the same emotion. Couldn't help but move the threads of better spiders into each other's lives by chance. All this energy's got us inspired now. We couldn't stop it, just say it free and dance.
Persona 4, dancing all night.
Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Persona 4 Dancing All Night. Well, not another, this will be the first. So I bet you're wondering why I'm doing this one now. Well, skip
Persona
that.
4, dancing all night.
Figured since I have some other stuff that I need to take care of, I figured I'd press on. I do plan on making more vids for Persona 3, but I wanted to go ahead and start this one. I also want to get to 5. Welcome to Persona 4 Dancing All Night. In P4D, there are 2 primary modes, Story Mode and Free Dance, where you can enjoy dance gameplay. Select your preferred option in the menu. So it's a lot different from the third one. In story mode, you can enjoy the story of Persona 4D. Persona 4D. First, select mode to proceed. The mode will affect only story mode and is separate from free dance difficulty. I guess we could do standard for the time being. Just to see what it's about. Oh, animated cutscene. This is different.
That concludes this audition. We'll contact you individually with your results after some time.
Thank you, sir.
Take care now.
Thanks for everything. Thank you for staying so late. Thank you so much. See you. Please excuse us. Sorry. Thank you for everything. We'll get back. I know. Good luck. I'm rooting for you too. Excuse me? Yuko-san?
Oh no, it's the midnight hour.
that a scream?
It was from the studio. Hey,
What?
what's going on?
I find it pretty rad that they kept the original voice actors and actresses.
Have you heard that rumor?
Huh? Which one?
When you look at some website at midnight, there's this weird video that plays on its own. It's hard to really make out much at first, but you can totally see this idol who should be dead dancing in it. When you watch the video to the end, supposedly you get taken away to the other side and you never wake up.
Oh, it's you. When you awaken, you are greeted with an unfamiliar sight. The floor, walls, even the ceiling, everything in this mysterious room is colored a deep ultramarine. Before you sit, before you sits a similarly unfamiliar woman.
Oh, welcome to the Velvet Room. Don't worry, this is merely a dream. The you in the real world is sound asleep. Having said that, you're no guest of this room.
She fixes you with a piercing stare, as if appraising you before continuing on.
Perhaps you've gone astray in your dream and wandered into a realm beyond your ken. This is the Velvet Room, a place that exists between dream and reality, mind and matter.
Same old spiel, different day.
Normally, only those who have agreed upon some form of contract may come here.
After saying so, she turns her gaze downward, as if in contemplation.
But nothing meaningless happens in this room. If you are here, there must be a reason for it. Very well. I'll use this as an opportunity to tell you of a guest we once hosted here.
The woman before you straightens her posture slightly, then faces you directly. It seems she's going to tell you a story about someone other than yourself. Who does she intend to tell you about?
Yes, I know just whose story to relate. This is the tale of an unforgettable guest who kindled within my heart a flame that none of our countless visitors could match. I knew him as Yu Narukami. In overcoming a terrible ordeal that befell a certain town, he formed an irreplaceable bond with his friends. The power of their bond supported them through every trial, even when facing an adversary with inhuman powers. They remained undaunted throughout. You seem perplexed. I'm not surprised. You could have no notion of what I'm speaking of, after all. In that case, I will show you a glimpse into the story after they overcame their ordeal.
When the woman raises her hand, brilliant light slowly floods your surroundings.
To be clear, this is not the story of the ordeal they faced. One might think of it as a festival that they performed in, at the risk of their own lives.
Oh boy. You and his friends. Production company Takura Productions Practice Studio. About half a year has passed since we solved the case that took place in the peaceful rural town of Inaba. Summer vacation has been over for a while, but the heat still clings. Today, we had We had come to a certain production company's office for a particular purpose.
Rise-san's very late. It's past time for our lesson already.
Upon saying so, Naoto looks up at the clock on the wall. Naoto Shirogane. She's an underclassman and 1 year younger than me. But she's a detective and 5th generation of the distinguished Shirogane family. When I first met her, she had problems with how others saw her and presented herself as an adult man. Now, though, she's shifted away from that. I nod to Naoto before taking out my own cell phone, scanning the backlit screen.
No text or voicemail from her. What about you?
Me neither, it seems. I wonder if something happened. But in that case, I think you'd be the first one Rise-san would contact, Senpai.
Rise Kujikawa. She's an underclassman and a year younger than me, like Naoto. Nato. She's a teen idol famous across Japan, working under this company, Takara Productions. Just like Nato, she had her own issues to deal with. When we first met her, Rise had been on hiatus from her work as an idol. However, the year we spent together helped her grow, and she's currently in the midst of making her comeback to showbiz. Actually, Rise's comeback is essentially the reason ordinary high school students like us are here in the first place.
Should I give her a call?
No, we can wait a little longer. Now, her work schedule is tight to begin with. It's us who are imposing on her time. Or, rather, it's me.
My finger hovers over the sell button. My finger hovers over the call button. But I stop at Nato's words and put my cell away into my pocket. It's true. Rise must be very busy. It may be better to wait a bit longer and see what happens. Just as I'm thinking this, Nato moves onto another conversation topic.
It still seems so hard to believe. For me, of all people, to be standing in a production studio awaiting dance lessons.
I couldn't have pictured it either, if it wasn't for Rise's comeback performance.
The Love Meets Bonds Festival. They're calling it LMB for short, correct? It seems to be a momentous occasion. I've heard TV crews will be there on the day of the concert.
That's right. We'll be participating as backup dancers in the performance at LMB, the debut show for Rise's comeback. Of course, Rise aside, we're all just amateurs. We're going to need a lot of practice before we can handle a real show. So far, our practice has been extremely rigorous, and it's still continuing on now.
Ballroom dancing I could have managed, but I'm entirely useless at this. I felt much more at ease fighting monsters in a strange world than I feel here.
Oh man, I'm super late. I'm so sorry.
Rise-san! Oh, thank goodness you're all right.
My last meeting just wouldn't end. Were you two waiting long?
Oh, it wasn't that
No,
long.
it wasn't that long.
Really? I was pretty late, so I figured you'd be mad.
We don't hold it against you. With the music festival right around the corner, you must be overwhelmed with all the preparations. After all, it's not just we two you've been supervising. I've heard that you're making time to give lessons to the others in Inaba as well.
As Nato says, we three aren't the only ones of our friends who'll be participating in this Love Meets Bond festival. The members of the investigation team, our friends who helped solve countless cases in distant Inaba. Distant Inaba will be performing at the festival as well. Yosuke, Chie, Yukiko, Kanji, and Teddy. Even now, the 8 of us are practicing our dance moves daily. Though Rise is busy with work, she's been going back and forth between here and Inaba to help teach our friends in the country.
Well, everyone's pitching in to help me.
Senpai, Naoto-kun, my friends in Inaba. I want all of us to be our absolute best on stage, so I'll do whatever I can to help achieve that. But man, the festival producer's been a real pill about it. Just a minute ago, she was going on and on about throwing our money away on amateurs. It was like I wasn't in the room. I was seriously seeing red. We'll show her. We're gonna pull this off whatever it takes, and then she'll see how amazing all of you are.
You're a true professional. My hat is off to you.
You know it. So you can't slack off either, Naoto-kun. Come on, let's get this rehearsal start.
Oh, good. All three of you are here.
The studio door opens, cutting off Risei's words. The man poking his head through the doorway might be the only other friendly face here besides Risei in this unfamiliar studio.
Inoue-san, what's up? Wait, is that you, Nozomi? Oh my gosh! Hey girls, it's been forever!
The man called Inoue gives a smile and enters the room we're in. There are a number of girls behind him, but I don't recognize any of them.
I'm sorry to interrupt your practice, Yu-kun and Naoto-kun.
Ah, Risei-san's manager.
Could you spare a moment of your time? There are some people I'd like to introduce you both to. They're another idol group with Takara Productions. They'll be performing at LMB too. Allow me to introduce Nozomi Nakahara, Tamami Uesugi, Sumomo Ujima, and Tomoe Sayama. These are the next generation of idols, following in Risei-chan's footsteps.
I see. So they're Risei's juniors. The four girls, clearly all apart from the same group, smile at us, dressed in matching costumes. This isn't good. I'm not an expert on showbiz. I'm not an expert on the showbiz world to begin with, so there's no way I'd know about them. Is it rude to tell actual teen idols to their faces that I don't know them? If Yosuke were here right now, things would be different. However, backup comes from an unsuspected place. Naoto is the one to speak up, previously lost in thought next to me.
I've seen them on TV before. As I recall, they're members of Kanamine Kitchen.
Wow, Naoto-kun, that's right. You sure do your homework on this stuff. But it's just you four?
Kanami-chan's doing PR right now for her solo photo book that's out soon.
Kanamine Kitchen. I recall hearing that name. I see. They're the members of that group. If I remember right. They're a popular idol group made to center around Kanami Mashita, another of Risei's juniors. The four girls Inoue-san's brought here make up the group Kanamine Kitchen, minus Kanami-san herself right now.
You know, Inoue-san, you've been pushing Konami too much lately. I don't think having her take on every job she's offered is a good thing.
You don't mince words, do you, Tomoe-chan?
Well, I have to be direct. LMB is just around the corner. Do you understand that even now we're behind on rehearsing?
Oh, I do. Trust me, I know how big that event is going to be for your group.
Hey, I want to do photo book work too. I want to model lots of outfits like cute swimsuits.
All right, Sumomo-chan, just calm down. If a job like that comes in, I'll make sure you get a crack at it.
Tomoe-san gives a weary sigh as Sumomo-san clings to Inoue-san like a pouting child. They're supposedly Risei's juniors. Excuse me. They're supposedly Risei's juniors, but I can't get a read on any of their actual ages. It's a little baffling. How old are they actually? If I'll be speaking directly to them, how polite should I be? While I'm thinking it over, Nato, who seems startled by their presence in a completely different way, mutters, somewhat taken aback.
This is a bit overwhelming. It's like being in a room with 5 Risei-sans.
What? Am I that much like them? Is that what you think of your coach?
Oh, no. That wasn't my intent at all.
So this guy's you, son?
If I recall Inoue-san's earlier introduction, this aggressive girl must be Tamami-san. After walking over towards us, she looks into my face and stares intently at me. Did I do something to offend her? Nice to meet you.
Murakami. It's nice to meet you.
Whoa, listen to this guy. Aren't you a tad too composed? You seem way too cool.
I don't like it one bit.
Jeez, there she goes again. I'm sorry, Senpai. She's always quick to pick fights with anyone and everyone.
I see. So that's the kind of girl she is. When I nod at Risei's words, Tamami-san dramatically points at me. What now?
Just you wait, Yusan. The next time I see you, I'll have a herd of boys with me. All of them better and dreamier than you. It'll be a boy trail that goes so far back you can't see the end. Like a goldfish's you-know-what.
Okay. The air in this room goes frigid at Tamami-san's bizarre example. Was that intentionally awkward? Or should I say something and back her up?
I'm sorry. Tamami-chan isn't very good at metaphors.
Hey, why'd you go with you-know-what? Are we not supposed to say goldfish poop?
Well, I don't think saying poop in and of itself would damage an idol's image. Though, when you go out of your way to avoid saying it like that, it just calls more attention to it.
Shut up! Jeez, get back here, guys!
Sumomo darts away as Tamami-san chases her, while Tomoe-san watches in exasperation. This suddenly became a sketch comedy. That's when the last member, standing next to Inoue-san, steps forth and smiles cheerfully. Her name was... right, Nozomi-san.
Come now, everyone. A lady should always be graceful.
I'm pleased to meet you. I'm Naoto Shirogane.
It's an honor to make your acquaintance. I hope to make an impression on you.
Well, you certainly left an impression on me. I mean, what? I see. No wonder she's part of the same group as the other three. Nozomi-san seemed at first glance like someone you could talk to normally, as opposed to her colleagues, but it seems she won't be a cakewalk either. Naoto must have been thinking the same thing. When I look to her, she's desperately trying to relax her frozen expression as she responds to Nozomi-san.
Yes, well then.
Alright, that's enough, everyone. They're just amateurs, so try not to bother them too much.
Oh, it's no bother. We're fine. Right, Senpai?
It was a pleasant change of pace.
Really? Yay! Then I'll keep right on bugging you.
Okay, that's enough. You two gotta know when to put the brakes on these girls. If you don't, you'll never hear the end of it.
Oh?
Who are these people anyway, Risei-senpai? And there's more coming, right? I heard they're your friends, but they're not your boyfriends, are they?
Oh god. She's gonna be one of those characters?
Of course not. I mean, how would that even be possible? But they are all important to me. They're my friends, more precious to me than anything.
For a moment, the four of them are at a loss for words upon hearing Risei. An odd silence settles. What's wrong? I don't think what she said was that weird.
Friends, huh?
That sounds so nice.
Then again, you could say you, Senpai, is special to me.
Oh?
Ooh, is that so?
Is that so?
That's a big no.
Cutting off my train of thought, Risei grabs my arm and clings like usual. I know she's just joking, but Risei, can an idol like you afford to do something like that in front of other people?
Risei-san?
Oh dear. Well, I guess if anyone can get away with it, it's you, Risei-chan.
That reminds me, Inoue-san. You're done introducing everyone, right? We need to get started on our lesson.
You're right. We ought to get going in that case.
This video is actually taking a lot longer than I anticipated.
Everyone, let's break until the evening interview. Could you stay in your dressing room so I can come get you later?
Okay.
The members of Kanamin Kitchen reply in unison and bow before promptly and smoothly filing out of the room. Maybe it's odd, but ever since I started coming to Takora Productions, I've seen a lot of people here automatically shift gears like this. They really are professionals. I suppose it goes to show that even these girls are entertainers through and through.
Please excuse us.
Oh yes! The TV spot for L&B is gonna start airing today. You should let everyone know. It'll be broadcast across Japan, so they should be able to see it in Inaba too.
Nice! Thanks, Inoue-san.
Inoue-san is the last to leave, and we're back to just the three of us in the studio. The sudden quiet is like the aftermath of a storm. Nato mumbles almost involuntarily.
A TV commercial. That's what we filmed the other day, yes? It's really going to appear on TV.
Is it finally hitting you? That's right, all our smiling faces will be on TVs all across Japan. So there's no backing out of this now, okay, Nato-kun?
Come now. You needn't say it like that.
I'll email everyone about the ad later. Let's get practicing.
I'm sure they'll be watching even if we don't tell them about it.
On that point, I agree. I doubt they'd ever miss festivities like this.
She has a point. I think of the faces of our friends in Inaba. I can't help but to smile. The Love Meets Bond Festival's TV commercial introduces all the participants of the event, so we all participated in that filming too. We're going to appear on TV. And this time, it won't be on some bizarre program that only comes on at midnight. That does feel a little embarrassing, but it'll certainly be an exciting experience. Not to mention, my friends are even more attentive to this kind of thing than I am. They've probably already invited each other over and are waiting for the commercial's broadcast. The funny mental image brings a smile to my face.
The Love Meets Bonds Festival. Let passionate songs and dance echo across the world. In addition to this all-star cast, there will be special guests. The talented devilish idol, Rise Kujikawa. The meaty idol group, Konami Mashita and Kanamin Kitchen.
Come join us at LMB Festival. We'll form a passionate bond with you all. Our meat's extra yummy, so
Enjoy, everyone!
Oh, there we are. Where? Right there.
You have a huge sale on large flat screen TVs today.
Mommy, don't look at them.
That night, Rise, Nato, and I were still spending our time on the dance practice in a Takora production studio.
One, 2, 3, 4. 2, 2, 3, 4. Come on, Nato-kun. Hey guys, let's stop for a bit.
This is intense. I didn't envision it to be this tough. It's all worked out in my head, but...
Well, there's your problem. You're thinking too much. You stiffen up like that. Some skill is necessary, of course, and you have to factor in the choreography, too. But once you have that, all you need to do is show how you feel by moving with the music.
Is that how it works? You, Senpai, what do you think about when you dance?
I'll probably answer that in part 2, so I will be right back. Stay tuned for more.